Title: The Punic Wars, Rome versus Carthage. Scene 1. Rome in the 3rd century BC. In the bustling city of Rome during the 3rd century BC, vast avenues are packed with both citizens and senators, each engaged in discussions of trade and politics. Rome is fast-growing, and its ambition for expansion is apparent as leaders deliberate on the prospect of dominance in the Mediterranean region. The atmosphere is ambitious, yet the specter of impending conflict looms large. Scene 2. The rise of Carthage. Identify Carthage, situated in North Africa, thriving on maritime trade routes. With its powerful navy and wealthy trading network, Carthage stands as a formidable force in the Mediterranean. Their harbors brim with ships filled with goods ranging from precious metals to spices and textiles. Carthage is depicted as Rome's rival for control of the sea. Scene 3. The beginning of hostilities. Tensions reach a breaking point as both Rome and Carthage set sights on the island of Sicily. The scene incorporates a strategic map showing the distance and positions of both powers. The rivalry intensifies as alliances shift, and an incident involving Messina attracts the military might of Rome, catalyzing the First Punic War. Scene 4. Naval warfare innovations. Highlight innovations in naval warfare, showcasing Rome's adaptation and invention of the corvus, a boarding device facilitating direct combat on enemy ships. Despite Rome's inexperience at sea, they quickly adapt and begin scoring victories against the scene immerses in the battles at sea, framing the technology that turns the tides. Scene 5. Siege of Agrigentum. Concentrate on the Siege of Agrigentum, one of the first major operations involving over 40,000 Roman soldiers laying siege to the city of Agrigentum. The scene should show desperation in the Carthaginian defenders and depict strategies used by both sides as Rome strives to gain a foothold in Sicily. Scene 6. Battle of Cape Ecnomus. A vast naval battle scene, one of the largest of the ancient world, where Rome attacks Carthage forces. The strategic maneuverings of both fleets are depicted in the water. Despite being outnumbered, with tactics borrowed from land warfare applied to the sea, Rome emerges victorious. Scene 7. The First Punic War. Conclusion. The aftermath of 23 years of conflict as Carthage surrenders. The terms dictate Carthage's withdrawal from Sicily and impose a heavy indemnity. Rome's first overseas province is charted, marking its ascent as a naval power. Scene 8. The rise of Hannibal. Shift focus to Carthage. Hannibal Barca, growing amidst tales of inherited rivalry and enduring hatred for Rome. A young Hannibal swears an oath of vengeance, foreshadowing future conflict as he is seen studying strategies and traversing the vast landscapes with elephants in tow. Scene 9. The Second Punic War begins after Hannibal's successful siege of Saguntum. War erupts anew. Rome's attempts to check Carthaginian expansion in Spain fail as Hannibal leads his army westward. The scene follows the anticipation and anxiety growing in Rome as news of his advance lingers. Scene 10. The crossing of the Alps. Hannibal's daring journey across the snow-capped Alps showcases the harsh conditions, including avalanches, bitter cold, and dwindling supplies. The scene captures the tenacity of Hannibal's forces, enduring the treacherous path while the Romans remain oblivious to his impending arrival. Scene 11. Battle of the Trebia. Winter has set in as the Roman army, vulnerable and tired, falls into an ambush orchestrated by Hannibal at the Trebia River. The ensuing battle is brutal, marked by strategic brilliance from Hannibal and chaos within the Roman ranks. Scene 12. Victory at Lake Trasimene. The scene transitions to Lake Trasimene, where Hannibal's forces launch a surprise attack on a Roman army trapped by the fog. The ambush signals yet another stunning Carthaginian victory, adding to Rome's growing losses. Scene 13. The build-up to Cannae. Rome now shifts towards relentless recruitment strategies, determined to put an end to Hannibal's campaigns. The formation of a massive army of nearly 80,000 men signifies their commitment. Preparations intensify as both civilizations gear up for a monumental confrontation. Scene 14. The Battle of Cannae. The scene reenacts the infamous Battle of Cannae in 216 BC, where Hannibal employs his masterful tactics with a double envelopment maneuver. The Carthaginian forces encircle their Roman rivals in a devastating fashion, culminating in one of the bloodiest days in Roman history. Scene 15. Rome's strategy of attrition following the loss at Cannae. Rome rethinks its approach, focusing on a war of attrition. Avoiding further large-scale confrontations with Hannibal, Roman forces aim to cut off his supply lines and win localized victories. Scene 16. Hasdrubal's impending crossing haunt Rome with the news of Hasdrubal Barca, Hannibal's brother, planning to reinforce Hannibal by crossing the Alps with another Carthaginian army. Romans dread the potential unification of these two armies, which promises an overwhelming challenge. Scene 17. The Battle of Metaurus Relief cloaks Rome when Carthaginian messengers bearing confidential information to Hannibal are intercepted, foiling the coordination between Hasdrubal and his brother. The subsequent Battle of Metaurus results in Hasdrubal's death and a critical Roman victory. Scene 18. Hannibal's southern retreat depicts Hannibal's retreat further into the Italian peninsula as Roman alliances with local regions tighten. The burden of maintaining an overstretched army begins to weigh upon Hannibal, and his controlled territories gradually diminish. Scene 19. Scipio's rise to power shifts the focus towards Rome with Publius Cornelius Scipio, whose ascent reassures the Roman citizens. Scipio's strategic insights promise victory, with his focus now on directly assaulting Carthaginian power bases in North Africa. Scene 20. The Battle of Ilipa. Scipio's genius shines as the Roman legions find victory in Spain at the Battle of Ilipa. Here, Roman and allied forces outmaneuver a larger Carthaginian army, showcasing Scipio's deft command and ability to turn the tide of war. Scene 21. Invasion of North Africa. With successes rising, Scipio proposes an audacious plan to lead an invasion directly into Carthage's heartland. The vision reshapes Roman military policy, creating political and military support for a decisive offensive campaign in Africa.